The Department of Environment and Natural Resources (CAR) is the executive department of the Philippine government responsible for governing and supervising the exploration, development, utilization, and conservation of the environment and natural resources in the Cordillera Administrative Region. The Cordillera Administrative Region covers the provinces of Apayao, Abra, Kalinga, Mountain Province, Ifugao, and Benguet. Known as the watershed cradle of the North, the region is known for its environmental richness and abundant natural resources. It hosts 13 major watersheds which drain a huge amount of water, making the Cordillera a primary source of water to neighboring municipalities of Regions 1 and 2. They also provide water for the Ambuclo Dam, Benga Dam, Magat Dam, and San Roque Dam, the four large hydropower plants in the region that supply the main transmission grids of the country. Apart from these vast potentials, CAR is also gifted with exquisite but fragile areas which need to be protected. Initially, legislated protected areas in the region are Mount Pulag Protected Landscape and the Banao Protected Landscape. Other initial components of the National Integrated Protected Area System are the Upper Ogno River Basin, the Casamata Hill National Park, the Mount Data National Park, the Marcos Highway Watershed Forest Reserve, and the Lower Ogno Watershed Forest Reserve. With these massive resources, the department, in collaboration with stakeholders from government, private sector, and communities, is tasked to conserve, manage, develop, and promote the proper use of the environment and natural resources to ensure their sustainability and to realize a clean, safe, and healthy environment for the present and future generations alike. In order to attain its vision and fulfill its mandates, the DENR-CAR Regional Office is unified and working holistically with the Environmental Management Bureau (CAR), Mines and Geosciences Bureau (CAR), Watershed and Water Resources Research and Development Extension Center, and its field offices. It has 6 provincial environment and natural resources offices, and 12 community environment and natural resources offices headed by a pool of experts from different fields. The manpower of the DENR-CAR regional and field offices is composed of 974 personnel. Of its 1,082 plantilla positions, only 108 remain to be vacant. To realize its vision for a clean, safe, and healthy environment, the DENR-CAR implements its programs, projects, and activities anchored on the 7 strategic thrusts and directions laid down by Environment Secretary Maria Antonia Ulalozaga. Increase forest cover. Under the regular National Greening Program, more than 1 million seedlings of various species were produced and planted in 1,401 hectares of established plantations in open and denuded areas. On top of this are 200,096 seedlings produced and 153 hectares of established plantations under the NGP component in Protected Area Management. Under the Community-Based Forest Management, an additional 78 hectares of agroforestry plantations were established in partnership with partner peoples organizations. Conserve protected areas and biodiversity resources. A total of 37 protected area management meetings were conducted discussing developments, issues, and concerns in 2 legislated protected areas and 5 initial components of the National Integrated Protected Area System. These protected areas has earned revenues from payments of ecosystem services and penalties for environmental violations, which are in turn used for their conservation and protection. Ensure water security and resilience in high water stressed areas. To promote the responsible utilization of water resources, information drives were conducted on the process of applying for water permits. 43 water permit applications were accepted, evaluated, validated on the ground, and transmitted to the National Water Regulatory Board to legalize their use of water sources. 129 water users, facilities, and permittees were monitored for their compliance with the conditions of their water permits. Improved air and water quality, and waste management. The DENR-CAR has monitored 790 firms for their compliance with the provisions of the Clean Air Act. 7 ambient air quality monitoring stations in the region were duly maintained, yielding accurate, real-time, and positive results. For their compliance with the Clean Water Act, 283 firms were monitored. Under solid waste management, the implementation of 82 approved solid waste management plans of local government units were monitored. Sustainably and responsibly manage mineral resources. The DENR-CAR has facilitated the processing of one exploration permit applied for by Felix Mining Corporation with the DENR Central Office. 135 or transport permits were issued. Of the number, 75 are for gold, 36 are for silver, and 24 are for copper concentrate. The 13 small-scale mining areas in the region were regularly monitored, while 3 proposed small-scale mining applications were endorsed to the DENR Central Office. Land management. On land management, 884 residential and 1,262 agricultural lots were surveyed and approved. Residential and agricultural patent applications were also processed, approved, and transmitted to the Register of Deeds for the eventual issuance of title. Adopt climate risk lens in planning and policies. DENR-CAR took an important step towards climate change mitigation and adaptation and building a climate-resilient future. It provided scientific knowledge and solutions, convened and supported negotiations, hosted and entered into multi-stakeholder agreements, and worked closely with the different sectors to deliver on their commitments across different sectors of the environment. One of the highlights of the 2024 accomplishments is the collaboration efforts by various stakeholders in the rescue, rehabilitation, and release of the Philippine eagle Nariha kabugao back to its natural habitat in Apayao. Another Philippine eagle was sighted soaring over the mountain ranges of Mount Pusa, Mount Bernay, and Mount Siquepo in Abra. Another is the recognition of the province of Apayao as the 4th Biosphere Reserve of the Philippines during the Man and Biosphere Reserve International Coordinating Council meeting in Agadir, Morocco. Under the Recognizing Institutions Individuals for Vibrant and Enhanced Rivers, the Malinog River bagged 2nd place, making it one of the most improved Class C rivers in the country. For its innovations, efficiency, and effectiveness in public service, DENR-CAR was fated for Level 1 certification under the Philippine Quality Award by the Department of Trade and Industry, Competitiveness Bureau. The DENR-CAR vows to continue to provide leadership, technical knowledge, and skills as we work together for a greener, cleaner, more sustainable, and more equitable future.